so the third one I will put it differently because it's too long, it's too big otherwise. The third one was about I see there was a man, but I couldn't see really who. And I heard I can't remember the exact word, but that was used as a verb, meaning to gather or to get or resemble, or there was a little one, and because of my bad English it will come more in the future. But let's say it says he relayed all the stars, he gathered all the stars to him. And then when I heard that and see him like he will be looking at me, then it went to the right and it went dark. I think it was he gathered all the stars to him, and then it showed me the next one, as God sometimes do it the right, what's coming after, and sometimes it's what's coming after, but what's because it was there first. If it was a race like cars, it will finish first, but it's different. So well, depends if it goes anti-clockwise. That's why I heard don't talk about the cars. But so to me, when I woke up, to me when it was in the dream, I said the Antichrist, because then I saw the darkness coming upon the world, and I think it was there but dark. The man that was a color a bit flu came really dark. I was in silence, but you have to understand that sometimes people will get visions and dreams. They get it, whatever they're going through, they get it revelations, and they call it private revelation. The church, the establishment, the Catholic Church, at least the first one, the real church, infiltrated. We're not gonna talk about this now. I'm for Pope Benedict. Now there's prophecies about two popes too and the end of the world. So the point that I'm making here, that's another video, another discussion, is that I woke up, and for me at that time I started to study quick blockchain, and I knew there was a Litecoin, L-I-T-E, and for me stars and light, it was this. For me at that time I started to study, and then there's the Ethereum and Ether, and I saw the Antichrist doing the eyes like this on the first time, and I thought it was Elon Musk. I put it because the Starlink, the like the stars you see moving, but it's Starlink, a satellite, and God showed it to me. It can spy, and I said Elon Musk maybe is the Antichrist for me in my list. But nevertheless, I had another dream. Now I know that Elon Musk, a week after that, so recently, that he has a son called Damien as well. And one time I opened the door and seen a woman run with a baby, and I was in that apartment building that I put some video that I visit recently, and that's about 6 months ago, this summer. And I opened, I said I see her run from a satanic kind of woman, almost a nursery like in the movie Damien. And I looked through my window when I grew up in Saint Leonard, Montreal. I say, hey, I'll open you the door. And I entitled this opening the door to the Antichrist, because I opened the door in the lobby between two doors, and as I open, suddenly I feel both the old woman who had the baby and the woman who was chasing was already there, and she was doing nothing and not hiding from her. So I was like, how come she's not hiding? It's almost like and the woman looked at me and said, he's Damien, talking about the baby. So that's why I said, oh, opening the door to the Antichrist. There's also prophecies about a guy with a and now I'm talking about everything. I don't care, because I tried to do some movies and I can't, and no money, so I don't care. Arrange yourself with all this, with your intelligence. They didn't come to see me. They came to see me. I was in the beach. I heard don't turn. I didn't. They never came before. They called Mika, the dog that I lost, and I called, and I got robbed through Facebook saying where the dog is last time in Vancouver. And now I was here in Montreal visiting my mother, was sick, flew over, and the guy in the woods, Mika, come on, let's go, Mika. My first break. This is my second break only, real break. And I was on the beach, and today in the bus I was like, how come I never thought about this? It's like the movie The Good Shepherd. Because when I sold my soul in Vancouver, I went all around refusing the Antichrist, all to the last station, and Pope and Antichrist, and last station I continue. And before there was other station like following Jesus, eating crumbs, the war, machine of war, artist was before that. So this was like almost the station of the selling the soul. And then at the end there was like those dossier installation with some stagnant water that I didn't see, and I slept when I was very late, and I woke up scratching myself for a week and cursing the fucking town. And there was like sewers, but it's an installation, laughing about the old time, now it's electronic. Back then it was this. It's like laughing about the good shepherd. There's a lot of satanic and a lot of new age installation. They call it art, and it's like installation. Like if you put a statue of a naked person, you're cursing the whole thing around. There's an influence. You understand? It's not just an installation. It's like marking spot, and it's very serious. So, anyways, I won't talk about this. So it's full like this in Vancouver. Um, Secondly, for that dream, the stars. Now that I know the guy that took the Litecoin is Asian, and the Litecoin was up to 400. Now it's down to 200, the high and the lows, and it went down. I think he sold it. The guy was Asian, but Asian in the West, I believe, and or it can be the son of Elon Musk, or it can be anybody. I even thought about the guy that did the blockchain Ethereum, because everything is gathered around the system now. You can do your currency there. Everything is gathered, and he has almost a monopoly in a sense. And he's very young. He's in his 20s, and he was in Toronto like me, kind of half autist guy, really skinny, slurping when he talks. He breathing open mouth like a prophet, like a camel, but a bit of autism. He likes friends. That can be good, but he's not formed. We don't know if the darkness that will come, God forbid, later on in his life, and he starts to eat, let it not be a bad man. And his last name is like mine, But, but Buterin, Vitalik, and he's Russian too. So Russian Canadian, grew up in Toronto when I was too, and it remembers me that in 2016 I saw the Antichrist having 9 years old, raising from the sea, Ontario Lakeshore, and it was dark, small, 9 years old. And then on the right came some followers to him that I could see. At that time I did join Instagram, but I had no time, and I heard buy a computer and I didn't, and I was mostly started to work first time, and I had 2 bedroom lofts, and I was coming and resting because my eyes right after, open windows, and then I would eat, and I couldn't do no more, even no more art. I took 2 bedrooms to do art, and I couldn't. I was out of a relationship. So in that time was still Trump didn't came in power, was beginning of the year. I didn't have my score. I thought it can be Vitalik Buterin in 2016, starting to have people, or it can be 2016, 9 years old. There's Byron Trump. There was even Elon Musk, the son Damien was 9 years old. He's 9 years old in that time. Now he's 12. Who else is a candidate for me? Buterin is a new candidate for me, and Elon Musk too. So it's funny because today I had another dream about this, and I didn't want no more sport. I lost money. I can't break the puzzle, though it makes sense, because two big influences that my eye. Second part, now I'm outside again. The food, the weather. I've never been outside. The reason I'm not renting something is I'm getting so old, and I lost billions like God, that I reflect upon that yesterday. It will be disgusting for me to rent in an apartment that makes noise with people. I can no more. It's like past. It's almost now, if I have extra years in my life, I can't do it at that point. Now I can't go and just work, because then I'll get stupid, and I still have to get my head because of the vision that I had to share. It's not my job for that. It's somebody that should give me money for in Jesus give the money on other, because we all have different parts. And back then, whenever the church was putting the money, god damn it, together, everything was possible. But today, no. Today you get prophets that go fucking work, and then they're too tired to share, or they can do their mission. So this was the third dream, and I'll put other ones.